Hi, my name is Patty Seaman, and I have the privilege of being a model for the Pink Hands of Hope fashion show this year. So almost a year ago, I was working and I was going to cancel my appointment for my mammogram. I just didn't see any way I was going to make it there on time. So I went to that appointment reluctantly, but I'm so thankful that I did go. 6 days later, I was told that I had breast cancer. And everything in my world started spinning out of control. I don't think I had a full grasp of what was going to happen, and it terrified me. And I felt like I was too young to have breast cancer. So it was a shock to my system. And I also was looking at how was I going to do everything that I needed to do and survive. And I can remember at first I was terrified of losing my hair. When they told me I was going to lose my hair, that was one of my biggest concerns for me personally. And now I look back at it and it was such a silly concern. But that's what actually brought me to Pink Hands of Hope. Was I walked in here one day not knowing what to expect, and I was met with an amazing volunteer, and as soon as she asked me if she could help me with something, I burst into tears. And I told her I'd just been diagnosed and I didn't know what I was going to do. And a couple minutes later, I was sitting in the wig room with her and we were trying on wigs, and it was the sweetest moment. And she just kept telling me how I was going to make it, and I believed her. And that was so comforting. And I tried on those wigs and I got over that fear. And then when my husband shaved my head, he looked at me and he said that I was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. And I never wore my wigs. So my first chemotherapy experience was very difficult because I had chemo and COVID on top of it. And then I ended up with rebound COVID. So we had a little delay in my chemo process, but it made the other chemos a lot easier to deal with, I will say that. And the one thing for me that is crucial to my well-being is my time in the woods and in nature. And that's where I hear from God. That's where I find my most peace. So I didn't make him, but I asked my husband to promise me that he would find a way to get me to the woods between every session. And I had a specific point that I wanted to get to, and it was a 1 mile hike in and a 1 mile hike out. And I was really proud of myself because out of the 8 sessions, I made it to that point between the sessions, except for the last 2 sessions. I felt like it was appointment after appointment after appointment. They were just, I would look at my calendar and I color code everything on my calendar. And my appointments were yellow, and I can remember opening my calendar and all I could see was yellow on my calendar, and just realizing like, I don't even know how I'm going to get through all these appointments, let alone get to the point of surgery and everything else. But that's where God came in, and that's where the people around me came in to lift me up and support me. But I also have an amazing board of directors from my ministry and an amazing volunteer base that were so supportive of me, not only bringing me meals and things like that, but they were also willing to pick me up and take me to where I needed to be.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay.
So I am officially cancer-free, which feels amazing. And it feels, every day I start to feel like I'm alive a little bit more. My sense of humor starts coming back a little bit more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think there's mixed opinions, but I'm starting to be able to function, and it just feels great.